welcome into Vegas Vegan Culinary School and Eatery. My name is Nico. I'm the head chef here. Today we're going to be going through a pretty simple version of an eggless salad. In this pan right here, I have the 2 pieces of tofu that I'm going to start to press. So if you don't have the tofu press, this is a nice way of doing it. And I'm just going to take some pans, and I'm going to use these pans to weigh it down. And we're just going to let that sit there and press. So in this, we have some celery, we have some green onion, and then I'm adding the bell pepper, which is optional, and that will go in towards the end. If you add it too early into the dish, especially if your knife's not very sharp, it'll bleed through and change the color of the egg salad itself. For the green onion, you see I separated the darker green from the lighter part. The lighter part is stronger in flavor, so I'm splitting in half, and I want to make sure that I really go through and mince this really fine. On the green parts of it, I'm going to cut them on a bias or at an angle. And I want to cut that at about a 45-degree angle, so that way in the dish, you'll be able to see these nice little ribbons. And transfer that right to that bowl as well. Now on this celery, I'm going to split it in half first to make it a little bit more manageable of a piece to work with. And then I'm going to cut those into quarter strips just like that, turning it 90 degrees, and I'm going to cut these pretty fine as well. I'm going to start to mix together the wet ingredients to this. So I have the prepared mayonnaise here and mustard as well. So I have 2 dry mixes in this. One is the Namak, or the black salt, and the other one is the turmeric. Now, turmeric is important for the coloring of this, but you don't want to use too much because it does have a background warmth to it. I wouldn't say it's spicy, but it definitely brings warmth to a dish, so you don't want to overpower the dish by putting too much of that in there. Black salt gives you that sulfury compound that really helps this dish recreate that egg-like taste. So I'm just going to sprinkle that into there. I'm going to mix that in, and I'm going to put a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. And then later on, after I taste it, I can always adjust it, but I want a little bit at this time just to get that baseline seasoning going. I'm just going to take that, I'm going to set that to the side. I'm going to pull this over. Ideally, we would let this press a little bit longer than this. Now I'm just going to apply a little bit of extra pressure onto this just to get it to press down. So a little bit more. Kind of hard to see, but there's a big collection. There you can see it there. Big collection of water already, just in that amount of time. So any pressing is better than no pressing. Just going to take this, split it in half. I'm going to dice these. And at first, I'm just going to cube these because we're going to naturally have some of the pieces break a little bit, which is going to give us that jagged texture that we're looking for. But more so than that, once we get this into the bowl, we're going to use the tip of that rubber spatula to break the pieces up just a little bit more. So don't be worried thinking that that's going to be the piece that's going to end up in there. We are going to break those up just a little bit more. Taking our pieces of tofu, adding that. Now I can start to take the tip of that spatula and break some of those up. And some of them, it'd be nice to get them even slightly mashed. And that's just going to help everything bind together a little bit better. And so now I'm just taking that, and I'm taking some of that off to the side and mashing it just a bit more, and that helps. One, it helps stretch the mayonnaise a little bit, so you don't have to use quite so much of it. If you want more mayonnaise in there, you can. The only problem is if you put a lot of that vegan mayonnaise in there, it starts, that fat coats your tongue, and it starts to deaden flavors, and so you lose some of the nuances of that. Then you don't taste the celery and the green onion in there quite as much. So you can see it's all together, but there are some noticeable pieces of it, and it doesn't look like it's just mashed tofu in there. It has texture to it, which is what we're going for. Now, the recipe is calling for paprika. We're not using a smoked paprika. If you really like that flavor, you can. However, a dish like this with such subtle flavors, it will really dominate the dish. So, some of this right here, and portion it into this bowl so we can see what it looks like. And obviously, I mean, using it as a filling for whatever you would like. You want to use it for wraps, you want to use it for sandwiches, that's okay too. And then I'm going to take this part of the dough that is beautiful and vibrant. Since we eat with our eyes first. There we go. And I'm just going to try to go ginger with this. There we go. Once you make it, you can let us know how it turns out, and then let us know what your interpretation of it was afterwards, what you ended up doing to it.